Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to come and talk about the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion part one. Now, listen, this is actually my second time coming downhill. Okay, I did the review earlier. It was 39 minutes and 2 seconds. And as I was listening, and I heard myself speaking when I was doing the review, but after I finished, I was going back listening to listening to it a little bit, and I was like, this sounds a mess. I had no energy. I think what it was I had just woke up and I did the review. And I think because I just woke up, I wasn't really like, you know what I'm saying? Because my goal was I have a goal today to get the reviews out. Marriage to Medicine, Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Potomac, Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, anyways, the review was a mess. In my opinion, it was a mess. I sound like the Visine man most of the review, and I was like, I'm not putting this out. I'm just not putting this out. So I just scraped the review, drunk some coffee, and now we back. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, oh, Melody quit. Melody, Cherie Rogers quit Love and Marriage Huntsville. Baby Carlos, the kingdom is falling apart. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. The kingdom reign is falling down, falling down, falling down. Kingdom reign is falling down. Carlos, what are you gonna do, baby? Every time we look up, girl, one of the girls is getting her purse, her keys, and she leaving. We had Winter from Love and Marriage DC quit. I think Ashley from Love and Marriage DC quit, did she? I'm not sure about Ashley. We had Monique, she quit. Stormy, she quit. Melody, she gone. Girl, the girls are leaving the Kingdom Reign Productions. What is going on? What is going on what is going on? We need an investigation. why the girl is quitting? That's what we want to know. Melody quit. Now, I don't know. There's scuttlebutt around the World Wide Web. They said that Melody and Carlos stopped following each other at one point. I also heard that Ariane was not shot, girl, was seeing shooting scenes for the show. So I don't know if any of this is true. But I will also say, outside of Carlos having an issue or something happening down um, with Carlos in the production, but outside of Melody or whatever reasons I think that maybe something is going on because too many girls are quitting. Um, I've been asking you guys, I've been saying for quite some time now, kind of like what's the end goal for Melody in the show? Because it's clear as day that I'll just say, because I don't want to get the millimeters worked up, she's outgrown the group. Well, I'm gonna get y'all worked up later on in this review, but right now I'm trying to keep it cool, calm, and collected. So I'll just say that Melody has outgrown this group, and it's very obvious that she has outgrown this group, right? Um, there was once upon a time I said that I felt like the group. I remember Melody saying that. I'm paraphrasing, but she said that they're going to have to choose a side. And I remember coming down here saying, well, girl, they did choose a side. Martell's. Now, some of that has shifted, especially with Tisha, Marceau, um, Martell. You're right, you know. So that dynamic has kind of shifted a little bit. But for the most part, we always knew that the chosen one was Martell. So she's gone. It is what it is. Do I think the show is going to suffer? I mean, I don't know. Melody has a very, very loyal, hardcore fan base. The millimeters do not play about Melody, right? Will they stop watching the show? I don't know. Has Melody said anything? Has she sent out a dog whistle? I don't know. Melody is still, I think, the executive producer, so it would be foolish. I mean, if y'all really wanted to support Melody, girl, it would be foolish for you to stop watching the. You see what I'm saying? Because if Melody is an executive producer, she's still getting paid. I'm assuming she will still be getting that check at least. So I don't know. People quit reality shows all the time, and they continue to go on. We've had how many girls and boys on Love and Marriage? Not Love and Marriage, on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and the show is still on. People have come and gone on Real Housewives of Atlanta, including the Queen, Lanithia Leaks, and the show is still on. You see what I'm saying? Um, will there be a dip in ratings? I don't know. Maybe so. I'm not sure. Nonetheless, she's gone. So hopefully she can soar. And y'all say that Melody is this fantastic, great reality TV star. I guess we'll see, right? Okay, so let's just do a quick 1-2 when it comes to what the boys and girls had on. I didn't think anyone looked a mess. I did think country. Like I felt like Nell and Chris looked country. I thought they looked nice, but I thought they looked nice in a country way, if that makes sense. Um, I thought Melody looked nice. Martell looked nice, even though Martell said his pants were so tight he couldn't even sit down. I said, girl. I don't know if I feel like Martell's suits are custom made. Or either he takes them to a tailor. But whatever the case is, I'm gonna need y'all to loosen those pants up by an inch or two. Okay, girl, I'm gonna need. I don't know, girl. I don't know what Martell's suits are fitted, but they push the envelope of being too tight. And when you're telling us that your pants are too tight, and we already see your clothes are always usually tight, girl, I'm gonna need you to just go up just a size. Girl, just a size, baby. That's it. The suit will probably look better. Whoever does Carlos King suits, that's who Martell needs to go to. Because Carlos King suits are usually fit to perfection. And you never hear him talking about how tight they are. Okay. Anyways, um, I thought Destiny looked nice. She on a red dress, blonde hair. I hated her hair though. Tisha, oh, speaking of country, baby, Tisha had on some stockings. I said, oh God. You know what it felt like to me? I was looking for a picture. I'm gonna try to find a picture. I don't know. I didn't really see any. I could probably go to her Instagram page, maybe. You know what it felt like to me? It felt like to me that Tisha's dress, the middle part was cut out, and Tisha probably didn't want all of her breast hanging out. Cool. So it appeared as though they probably got some fabric and put it right here in the middle to cover up sheer fabric to cover up her breast or not have much of her breast exposed. And then they took that fabric and made some stockings. Or they got a plus size pair of stockings and took some of the fabric and then girl made it in and then put it right here. Either way, I was like, girl, Tisha got on some ivory, some clear ivory. Girl, I don't know. Girl, I just didn't like the stockings. I just didn't. I've seen some of the girls can pull off a pair of stockings in 2025. Girl, that pair of stockings with that dress did not hit. I just did not like those stockings. It was killing me softly. I said, "Oh, girl." Um, Kimmy looked nice when Kimmy first came out. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I think in my head I'm thinking Huntsville, and I'm automatically associating Huntsville with country. I don't know. But like I said, nobody looked horrible. I didn't look at anybody and just say, "Oh, girl, you look a mess." Like I didn't look at any of the men and think they just looked a mess. You know. I'll say the best dress was Melody and Martell and Carlos King. And like I said, I thought Tisha looked nice, but it was just those stockings for me. And for some reason, I don't like her shoes either. I don't like Tisha's shoes either with that dress. I don't know why. I don't like Tisha's shoes, and I don't like those stockings. Everything else, Tisha looked nice. Marceau looked nice. Everybody looked nice. Girl, it is what it is. Okay, I don't really ever get too much caught up on the fashions when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Um, I put, girl, why are y'all playing a package about Melody and Martell's life? I want them at this point. It doesn't matter because Melody quit. But I, I'm if Melody was still there, I will want them to let Melody and Martell go. We don't have to always go back to show the beginning of Melody and Martell's relationship. At this point, girl, we know. I know that there may be a new viewer or two that comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville, but girl, we don't need. Why are we going back? Why are we going back that far? Okay. Um, is Martell jealous of Tisha and Marceau, the power couple? When Carlos called Tisha and Marceau the power couple, I was like, I mean, I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, but girl, no tea, no shade. Have y'all ever thought of Marceau and Tisha as a power couple? Hell, I would consider Nell and Chris a power couple before Marceau and Tisha. Excuse me. He says he's not jealous and he wants them to prosper. Carlos says, how does that make you feel about hearing Martell say that he's rooting for you? Martell said, hold up, sister. I didn't say I was rooting for them. I understood what Martell was saying. I don't have any ill will towards them, right? I'm not jealous of them. I hope they go off and be successful and their family is A-OK. But am I their cheerleader? No. I don't have any ill intent, but I'm also not a cheerleader. Okay? I understood what Martell was saying. Um, and then Martell and Marceau started to get into it, and then Marceau started to talk about um, Martell owing him $3,700. At one point, Letitia finally was able to open up her mouth. You know, Marceau don't let Letitia speak unless he gives her permission. She started to talk about things that happened a long time ago about how Ariane and Melody were the ones, I guess he was feeding them information. Girl, what are we talking about? At that point, I was like, okay, girl, this is not going the way I wanted to go. And then Marceau said he lost respect for Martell due to the tape. Baby, when I tell y'all, Martell Holt is nuts. So Martell is nuts. Do you hear me? Martell is psychotic. Let me just say, I want to be very clear with what I'm about to say. I'm to the point when it comes to relate with people in relationships, whether it's gay, straight, girl, I don't care if it's pansexual, poly, open, I don't care. When you knowingly get involved with someone and you have heard about how they operate in relationships, I'm about to stop feeling sorry for y'all. And that's women included. I would want to know, especially those people who watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, you know who Martell Holt is. Why would you, based off of the person that Martell has presented himself to be through this show, why would you still want to be with Martell Holt? The next woman who gets with Martell and he dogs her out, I'm not feeling sorry for her. I'm going to say, girl, you wanted it, you got it. It is what it is. We don't care. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not feeling sorry for anyone who knowingly gets into a relationship knowing how Martell Holt is. It's one thing when you don't know how a person is. It's one thing if you meet somebody off the street, if they met Martell and they really didn't know who Martell was, they had never watched the show, and then they got dogged out, I'd be like, ooh, girl. But there are women out there right now who have watched every episode, girl, the bonus footage, girl, keep up with the tea, and will still be with Martell Holt. So Martell and Marceau get into it. Martell is basically saying that Marceau is lying about a tape. This is the information. This is what I took from what was being said on stage. And we've talked about this like in Hot Topics in previous Love and Marriage Huntsville reviews. So Martell and Melody, while they were married, made a sex tape. Martell then took screenshots, pictures of the tape. I guess this was in the midst of Melody and Martell going back and forth with each other. He then sent Melody a text message, and I'm paraphrasing. I think I have the text message right here. Hold up. I ain't even got to paraphrase. I can read it word for word. Hold up. Martell sent Melody a text message, and what he wrote was, "Leave me the F alone. Stop speaking." Well, he put TF alone. "Stop speaking on me or anything about me. You're bullying me. You say one more thing about me at all, and I'm going to treat you like you treat me. I will go all the way in. It might ruin me, but you and your fans are already trying. Now, please don't call my bluff because at this point, I'm tired of you." So, along with that text message, he sent pictures of when him and Melody were having sex. And that's when Melody went to the cops and handled her business. And that's how the whole harassment communication thing came about. Martell really set his black ass on that stage. Either he was acting as if, either he was gaslighting, that he didn't understand what was the problem with what he did. I said, girl, what is going on? Martell, you sent your ex-wife, even if it was your wife, a message threatening her. And along with the text message, you also included pictures of you and your ex wife having sex. So one would be forced to believe or led to believe that that was your way of letting her know, if you keep up, I'm going to put this tape out. Why would you need to include pictures of you two having sex if the intent was not to threaten her with the sex tape? Girl, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I'm trying to keep myself calm because I start hollering in y'all faces. Okay. What are we talking about? So Carlos is giving Martell the floor to speak. Explain to us what's going on. He doesn't know how to talk. We know he's kind of low key a fool. So Melody starts to talk at one point. He gets upset at what Melody's saying, but girl, he's asking you to speak. So Melody says he pled guilty at one point. He says it's a lie. It wasn't a lie. So this is what I gather Martell was trying to say. Yes, I pled guilty. However, I didn't do it. I pled guilty because I wanted to take it up to a higher court, I guess. Me pleading guilty is not me actually admitting that what I did, me admitting guilt. I just said I was guilty to kind of hurry up the process so we could take it to a higher court. Girl! I think that's what Martell was trying to say. Martell, you're guilty. We all know exactly what you were trying to do when you sent Melody that text message and those pictures. I don't even understand based off of the information that we know. It could be more to it. I don't know. I'm not in the courthouse. I don't keep up with them like that. I don't even know how a judge could look at this information and be like, girl, I just don't see how a judge could look at this and be like, you're wrong. Like, you're wrong. Case closed. Okay. Whatever comes with it, but you're wrong, right? Um I do have a question though, and I've asked you guys this before. I do think it's kind of mind-boggling to me that Marceau now all of a sudden wants to be the man to stand up and let me say this. I'm not complaining. I'm not. And I'm not mad at it, but it is a little I think the question I would have for Marceau is what took you so long to stand up and do the right thing? Because we've seen Martell dog out Melody season after season after season. And y'all still decided to really choose Martell over Melody. We've seen Martell dog out you. Y'all almost got into a fight the first season. Wasn't it the first season when they almost got into a fight at that house and Carlos had to stand in the middle of them? We've heard him say that you had 20 girlfriends or you had whatever you did. He basically said you cheated on Tisha. So I would want to know, and this is a serious situation. But what I'm saying is Martell has done so much stuff that even before we get to the point of him doing what he did to Melody through that text message, y'all should have cut Martell off a long time ago. You see what I'm trying to say? So maybe is it just a pile up of things and this was the straw that broke the camel's back? Why didn't you cut Martell off when he was around here saying you were cheating on your family? And you were still calling him a good guy. That's my guy. Why did it take this? And again, I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day because if we calling him out, we're calling him out. But what took you so? Because I've been calling out Martell since season 1. You see what I'm saying? We've been calling out Martell since season 1. We've been knew the nigga was trash. What took you so long to realize that? That's the only question I would have. Well, I would have more than that, but okay. Um, when Maurice basically said he was making fun of Martell, basically saying, they didn't find me guilty, I confessed. Hey! Oh, baby. Oh, God. Oh. Kimmy. Oh, God. I said, Kimmy, stand up. Stand up, Kimmy. Oh, I said, oh, God, not my girl. Y'all know Kimmy. You know, Kimmy is my favorite. I go up for Kimmy. I really do. Even though I've been side-eyeing Kimmy for a couple of seasons, that's still my girl, and I'm going to stick beside her. She get on my nerves. Oh, she get on my goddamn nerves. But that's my girl. But, you know, Kim, when I tell you, baby, the way the way Maurice, girl, when I tell you Kimmy, girl, oh, Kimmy, I said, no, sister. No, sister. Whew. When I tell you Carlos King was on Maurice's ass, I have to give Carlos his flowers. You know, I'm not no hating ass bitch. Okay? I have to give Carlos his flowers. I don't know if Carlos said, I got to go in here and stick it to the girls and boys, because he was not letting up. You know, we say that Carlos protects Martell. He was on Martell's ass. I have to give it to him. He was on Martell's ass. He was on Maurice's ass. See, this is the thing with Maurice. Maurice is, I think that Maurice is smart. Maurice is a lawyer too, right? Just because you're a lawyer doesn't mean you're smart. But I mean, you have to have some type of, you got to have some type of sense, girl, to be, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're not the best lawyer in the land, you have to have some type of sense. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Maurice is smart. That's what I meant to say. Maurice, not Martell. Did I say Martell? Maurice is smart. He's a lawyer. Maurice is the type of person, because he is smart and he knows what to say. Like in real life, I couldn't have a conversation with Maurice because I would get frustrated and I would be done with the conversation. Because it would feel like I'm on a merry-go-round with Maurice. Like Carlos, I would have to get paid to have to speak to Maurice. Like Carlos is getting paid to host the show and ask these questions. Because after the third and fourth question, after I feel like you playing in my motherfucking face, girl, I don't even want to talk no more. I don't even want to talk no more. That's all right, girl. That's all right. That's all right. That's right. Maurice is the type of person you have to ask him. You have to tell him straight up. I don't want none of that extra shit. Don't ask me no question. I want a yes or a no. You know, for example, I have for the girls who don't know, I did my first interview with Dr. Heavenly. I haven't went back and watched it, but I have been receiving some positive feedback. So shout out to everybody who left their comments, and just shout out to all y'all. I think one of the questions I asked Dr. Heavenly was straight out, does she have a grandchild? And she said no. You see what I'm saying? Like Maurice, that wouldn't be Maurice. If you ask Maurice, does he have a grandchild? He would probably respond with, "Well, who told you I had a grandchild?" Well, it was Infamil in your account in your cabinets. So because I have Infamil, that means I have a grandchild. Well, most people would associate infant with baby, so we would think that do you have a grandchild? Why would you think I would have a grandchild and hide it? Like that's the shit that Maurice would do. You see what I'm saying? It would turn into this question. He asking questions to you. You ask him. It would just turn into a whole like boom, 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 boom like roller coaster, merry-go-round. Like It just wouldn't be a straight no. I don't have a grandchild. You know what I'm saying? Um, but anyways, so Maurice ran into a pole, baby. I said, "Come on, Karen Huger's nephew, girl, Karen Huger's son." I said, "Y'all love getting drunk, running into poles and shit." I didn't know he ran into a pole. Okay, I tried my hardest to keep up with this story, but it was a lot. But between me keeping up with Carlos asking the questions, Maurice trying to make sure that he didn't give too much information, I watched this scene about 5 times. Y'all gonna have to help me out, okay? So what it sounds like is the night before they were all out at Black. I think they were in 2 different cars, Kimmy and Maurice. They left in separate cars because they came in 2 different cars. Kimmy didn't go straight home, but they end up going home, basically. Then I think Maurice left and went back out. That's what I got. Okay. Now let me just say something. I live in the 4th largest city in the country. And bitch, after a certain time, ain't shit even open here except for IHOP and Denny's. And depending on the day of the week, hello? If it's a Monday or Tuesday, ain't too much shit gonna be open after 2:00. You'll have some clubs open. You'll have the bars open. But after 2:00, everything is pretty much shut down. You might have a few after hour spots on the weekends, right? You can go to Target. Target closed at 12:00 now. Well, some of the Targets close at midnight now. So all I'm trying to say is, what the fuck was Maurice going in Huntsville, Alabama, to the point where you was out all goddamn night? Were you out all goddamn night, or were you someplace all goddamn night? Hello? 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 So Maurice was gone all night. Sorry, y'all. Um, Maurice was gone all night long. I think he got pulled over around 10 something that morning. And then I think he got arrested. I think he made the phone call to Kimmy around noon. He got out, and then I think he went back to Black that same day. So basically, went to Black the night before, went home. He went back out, got arrested, got out, went right back to Black. Girl, I think that's the story. Either way, regardless of the story, this is what it comes down to. Kimmy and Maurice were trying to be one sound, one band. I get it. They're a unit. They're married, right? They're a couple. I get it. But based off of the information that I remember hearing, we just got to call a thing a thing. I don't know if this is facts. I don't know if this has happened, but it sounds like Maurice was out getting some pussy. It sounds like Maurice is cheating on Kimmy. Again, I don't know. But that's what it sounds like. Carlos asked him, "Were you alone?" He said, "I was the only person there." No, 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 no. I said, "Carlos, no, no, I said, Carlos, no, 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 go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Were you alone? I was the only. I didn't ask you that. I asked you, were you alone? So you trying to say I was on? Well, I feel like what Maurice was trying to say. Yeah, I was the only one there when the cops came. No, 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 no. He should have said, "Were you the only one there when the cops came? Were you alone before the cops came?" Hello. Now Carlos was asking some good questions. Where were you at between 4 and this time? Where did you go? Where were you at? You were traveling. Carlos was, when I said Carlos was on Maurice's ass, but Maurice is the type of person where if you miss one word, if you miss one sentence, one line, that could be the area where like you could get some extra tea. You see what I'm saying? Kimmy says that the line of questioning is bullshit because no one knows what I did or what he did. It's all speculation. And just like he said, well, girl, that's why I'm asking you the questions. We are speculating. But in order for the speculation to stop, I have to ask these questions. And to me, the way that they were answering the questions, it left the door open for people to assume certain things. I did not feel like after it was all said and done that it was a pin in it and it was done. I felt like there was still room left for interpretation. When you went to bed, is it normal that he doesn't come home to 9 or 10? She says that basically, this is the first time it happened where she was not in contact with him. I guess the times that he's been out before, late at night or all night long or whatever time he comes home, she has been aware. This was like the first time that like she hadn't heard from him. She didn't know what was going on really. Do you think Maurice is cheating? She said no, but she doesn't put anything past anyone. Okay. Um, and then they talk about Melody disparaging his character. Now, girl, let me say something. I think that multiple things can be true at the same time. Melody, let's just say this. If you take away what Melody did, right? If you take away the things that Melody said about the lipstick and her getting that information from the blogs, even though I will say she had to get that from a Love and Marriage Huntsville blog, it's still a blog nonetheless. But she had to get that from a Love and Marriage Huntsville blog, a Millimeter blog. But I know that was not the whole lipstick stuff we'll get into in a little bit. That was not on any of the main blogs. When I say main, I'm talking about like the Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Hollywood Unlocked. You see what I'm saying? Um, but anyways, even if you take away Melody saying what she said about her hearing that there was lipstick on his face, her, trying to draw a parallel between Marceau, all these niggas are the same. Maurice, and unfortunately her grandmother passing away due to I think it was grandmother, a family member passing away due to a drunk driver. Maurice had already disparaged his own character. Take away everything that Melody said. We already thought that Maurice was an ain't shit nigga, if we're gonna be honest about it. When Kimmy was over there, damn near dead, 1 foot into glory, fighting breast cancer. I think it was it stage 1? I can't remember, girl, breast cancer nonetheless. And he was climbing his big ass on top of that lady because he still needed to get his rocks off. That sealed the deal for me, if you want to be honest about it. I had already started thinking Maurice was probably an ain't shit nigga, quiet as it's kept, even though Kimmy told us first season that Maurice and Marceau ain't different. And I remember coming down here like, oh, I guess you don't know. Maurice was low-key my man. Let me stop looking at y'all husbands. Maurice was low-key my man. I was like, oh, guess you don't know. I don't know. I heard I go trying to tell somebody about their husband. I'm trying to tell you about your husband. But when she said that her husband was no different than Tisha's husband, they're brothers, I was like, oh, girl. But she tried to tell us they the same nigga, really. Maurice does just give you more pulled up. Marceau don't hide who he is. Maurice hides who he is. You see what I'm saying? So we've already clocked Maurice a long time ago. Not at first, but a long time ago. So we've been looking at Maurice kind of side eyes, like he might be kind of trash. Girl. I don't know. He sound like he all right, but I don't know. But then when the whole breast cancer stuff happened with Kimmy, that completely changed the way I looked at Maurice. It really did. So again, if you take out what Melody said, it doesn't matter because, girl, you disparage your own goddamn character. If we're gonna be honest about it, and that's just true too. Now, I do think Maurice had a point. While he feels that that Melody disparaged his character, as he stated, while we could have opinions on certain things that happen on the show, I've never once disparaged your character. And I have to be honest, I don't remember a time where Maurice spoke negatively about Melody. I don't. I don't. And yes, Melody trying to imply or paint the picture that Maurice could have possibly, because what Melody was trying to do was say that he was out here cheating on Kimmy. That's exactly what she tried to do. And I have been saying this. Carlos asked Kimmy about how does she feel about, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Um, Carlos said that Maurice had a different shape. Oh, girl, I'm getting ahead of my, hold on. Okay, yeah. Mel says, okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh, no, let me get my shit together. Okay, so we back. Okay, we back. Okay, so Kimmy and Mel, baby. I don't give a damn what y'all say, baby. Kimmy was wearing Mel out low key. She was. She was. Kimmy had everybody on stage laughing at Mel, including the host. Kimmy was wrapping Melody up. She was wrapping her up. She was. Sorry, millimeters, but she was. Um, Carlos asked her about does she think that Melody wants everybody's husband to basically be an ain't shit nigga. I have been saying this for seasons now, and I'm not changing my mind. I do believe that Melody wants everybody to know that her husband or ex-husband is not the only ain't shit nigga on the cast. I think Melody does go out of her way to try and prove that other men are cheating. While again, yes, blogs, Love and Marriage Huntsville blogs are still considered a blog. I had never heard, seen anyone talk about, and it's probably because I don't follow the Love and Marriage Huntsville blogs or the Melody fan page blogs or Lipstick Alley, right? I had never heard anyone say that was lipstick on Maurice's face, or what Carlos asked about lipstick being a different shade of color on his collar. Now, how in the would somebody? That's what it's shit like that. Who would know the shade of lipstick that Kimmy had on, and how was that? And that was a different color shade of lipstick that was on the collar of Maurice's shirt. Now, I don't know if Carlos was just trying to joke at that point or what, but that's what he said. And I was like, hold up, that's what I'm talking about. How would someone know the shade of lipstick that Kimmy had on that day? And if it matches the shade of lipstick that was either on Maurice's collar or the lipstick that Melody says was on his face? How would somebody know that? Girl. Would you tell Kimmy if she knew that Maurice cheated on her? And Melody said no. Now I have to be honest. Let me tell you something. Melody made sense to me. Girl, we're not even cool like that. That's pretty. I'm paraphrasing. But what she said was, we're not even cool like that. So there will be no need for me to go and tell her that Maurice was cheating on her. It is what it is. But girl, even if you are cool like that, you still got to be careful, because I hate to say it. I hate to say that. Excuse me. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. We just saw this happen on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Girl, the girls will drag you into their shit, talk about how they niggas ain't shit and how they cheated on you, and then girl, you sit around and kumbaya with them and drag the nigga. They'll go back and tell him what you said, and now he mad at you. He mad at y'all. And then what? And I'm telling y'all, if the woman has to, if he gets so upset where he makes the woman choose between him And the friend, she probably gonna let that friendship go. She not choosing a bitch over her man. Hello? So I think that sometimes what I'm trying to say is sometimes, girl, it is best to stay out of relationships, where even if it's your good sister. Because if she go back and say, well, Keisha said that she saw you out with some bitch the other night, and he be like, that bitch is lying. Keisha ain't saying no shit like this. She ain't saying blah, 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 blah. That's why I'm talking about you need to check your friends. I don't just want like you hanging off them hoes. I bet you she sought to pull back from Keisha. Hmm. Kimmy basically says, well, if you heard it, tell me. Don't go around implying it. I understand that. I'm with Kimmy. Don't go around and say meet up with Tisha, because at the end of the episode, I'm getting ahead of myself, but at the end of the episode, Melody tried to say I didn't bring it up anymore because Kimmy said that she didn't want to talk about the case. Maurice did not get pulled over because he had allegedly lipstick on his face. Maurice did not receive a ticket because he allegedly had lipstick on his collar. Maurice did not get pulled over because people think that he's allegedly cheating on Kimmy. He got pulled over because they say he hit a motherfucking pole and he was drunk. So Kimmy saying she doesn't want to talk about the case is not the same thing as you just telling her straight up, well, sister, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but the blogs are saying, the people are saying, I heard one of my friends told me that he had lipstick on his face. So you might want to check into that, because I know how these men can embarrass you. See, what Melody tried to do was she tried to draw her being embarrassed by her husband, Martell, having a baby and cheating on her, to Maurice getting a DUI. While, yes, it can be embarrassing that your grown-ass husband just got a DUI, that is not the same thing as your grown-ass husband having a girlfriend and a baby on you. You see what I'm saying? If Melody just would have straight out said, oh, well, girl, I know you don't want to talk about the case anymore, but girl, they're saying that he had lipstick on his face, blah, 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 I think that would have been completely different. Now, quiet as it's kept, with everything I just said, what Melody should have told Miss Kimmy, well, since you want to know what I think about Maurice cheating on you or not, based on what he just said on his stage, I think everybody thinks that he's cheating on you. And you know it too. So welcome to the club. Hello? That's what she should have said. That's what she should have told Kimmy. That would have got Kimmy off, because Kimmy was wearing Melody out. That would have got Kimmy off her ass. Well, girl, since you want to know what I think so bad and what I heard, girl, I'm going to tell you what I just heard on the stage. What I just heard based off of what your husband said, it sounds like he's cheating on you. Do I think he's cheating on you? Yes. And I think everybody else on the stage thinks the same thing. So welcome to the club, sis. That's what you should have said. Hello? Since you want to be concerned about me telling you if the nigga cheating on you or not, or what I think if he cheating on you, I'll tell you what I think right now. Hey, shit. Anyways, she basically says, she talks about what she asked her because it was popular on social media. And Kimmy said, I don't care what's popular on social media. If it was on social media about your ass and how you had a bad ass job, we don't sit around talking about it. I said, ooh. Now I'm not gonna lie, I have heard that Tisha and Melody have had mommy makeovers. They never discuss it on the show though, but I have heard people say on the internet, not necessarily the blogs, but I have heard people say that Tisha and Melody had mommy makeovers. Because I think some people were saying that I think Melody got hers first and then Tisha went to the same doctor. I don't know. She said, when you decide it's reasonable to talk about whatever you heard, it's okay. But when we talk about what we heard, then we're in trouble and we got to have a meeting with Mel. And then Maurice said, girl, that was tag team and Melody. Maurice said, we gotta have a gathering session at least once a year. Girl, when I tell you everybody started laughing, Melody was like, that's not true. Shit, I'd be damned. Go back and watch my reviews. How many times have I said that whenever Melody gets upset at somebody, or whenever Melody is on scene having a conversation with somebody, how many times have I not said that it looks like a meeting in human resources? Hello? It always looks like a meeting in human resources. When Melody does not like what somebody has done on the cast that pertains to her, it does look like a meeting with human resources. Girl. So then Kimmy says, we sit there, open our hearts, apologize, and do everything we're supposed to do. Girl. Because basically the boss is mad. The executive producer is mad. And they know it's true. That's why they all burst out laughing. Melody was trying to deny it, but I don't think you can deny that. I got a taste for some. You know what I got a taste for? I got a taste for a steak and a potato. That's what I think I'm gonna get me tonight. It's a little cheap steak place around the corner. Girl, you know the bitch. Why they shut? Girl, you know the little hole in the wall I used to go to. I used to go to a hole in the wall, and they had Tuesday night steak nights, and the steaks would be $20. You get a steak, a potato, and something else for $20. No, it wasn't even $20. I think it was $12. I just told her like I think it was $12. I just told her like, I think it was $12. Girl, you got a steak and a baked potato for $12. When I tell you, baby, it was some little Mexican man out there that would be on the grill, girl, grilling them steak. When I tell you, baby, he says, anyways, girl, when I tell you them steaks used to be hidden, bitch, why they close that whole place down? God, I was devastated. I'm talking about devastation for the nation, girl. I said, damn, they used to have steak nights on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe. Or maybe Mondays and Wednesdays. They used to have it 2 days out the week, I believe. It was to the point where, girl, every time you walk in, they ask for, and at one point I ain't gonna lie, I thought they was doing it because I was black. But I noticed they was doing it to white people too. So I was like, okay, girl. It got to the point I went there so much, girl. Whenever you go, they would ask you for your card to put on file. I guess people would be walking out. Girl, it got to the point where the white girls, I would come in, they'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? They wouldn't ask me for my card no more. Okay. Okay, he good. Anyways, don't know how the fuck I got on steaks. Girl, in a place in a hole in the wall. Anyways, so yeah, that was pretty much it. And it went off with Melody. It went off with Melody, basically saying that she didn't want to talk about the case, so she left it alone. And I put girl bullshit. And Kimmy was wrapping Melody up. Let me look over these notes real quickly. I hate Destiny and Latricia's. Oh girl, we're gonna talk about Latricia. But when I say I want Latricia to leave that blonde her alone, I'm gonna say what I really think next week. I've been thinking about this for about 2 weeks now. If I'm gonna say who Latricia remind me of with that blonde wig, I'm gonna say it next week. I might say it. I don't know. You know how the girls get real mad. Um, at first, I put I hate everyone's dress. I think I had just woke up, so my attitude was bad. Hello, but I didn't hate everyone's dress. I thought everybody looked nice. I just thought that I did think that I don't know. I'm about to say something. It's something when I see couples dressed alike, it does kind of remind me of country in a way. I'm sorry. So when I saw Nell and Chris dressed alike, I was like, it's giving me country. I don't know. I've never been big on like couples dressing alike. I really haven't. It's one thing like for you to have on like one cup, like for you to. I don't know. I don't know. It has to be fly for me to like it, and that wasn't fly. Anyways, I put Carlos' suit is cute. I don't know if Carlos was trying to tell us sexually he's a top. Did y'all hear him say so? Who's on top? I mean, I always am. Carlos, some of the shit you say on show be so unnecessary. Like when he was on Bell Collective playing with the coochie in a can. Why do we need to, and talking about put that in my room? I'm gonna use it later. Do we really need to hear you? We don't need to hear. Okay, Carlos. Um, why are you playing? Okay. Martell said no, no, no. I'm not rooted, girl. We're going backwards. I put Martell as nuts. Girl, when Melody told Martell, do me a favor, please don't talk to me. Hey, I know that's right. Hello. Also, I wanted to add this part too, because I see this a lot online. Let me give you an example of what happened between Kimmy and Melody, or Melody and the rest of the group. Say you're in a relationship, right? You're part of a friend group. You find out that someone in the friend group, an infidelity has happened. You have pillow talk with your spouse. 10 times out of 10, people who are in relationships, they have pillow talk. You're also going to have conversations within the friend group. Girl, you heard that James cheated on Keisha, right? It becomes a topic of conversation. James and Keisha find out, they get mad because now people are talking about their James cheatation. Keisha then turns around and says, girl, you know, it was a picture out about Malcolm and he got arrested and there was some lipstick on his face. It was something red on his face, trying to imply that there may be a cheatation with Malcolm and Ashley. Y'all get where I'm going with this? Melody and Martell had an infidelity. Martell had an infidelity, okay? He cheated on Melody. It happened within the friend group. It becomes a topic of conversation. People are having pillow talk. Melody gets upset. Now she insinuates, implies that Maurice could be cheating on Kimmy. That's not the same thing, y'all. Me having pillow talk with my husband or my wife, us having conversations about what happened in the friend group with with someone in the friend group where an infidelity occurred, and then you trying to imply that girl, my man could have cheated on me. That is not the same thing as well, all they do is talk about Melody and Martell. Yes, they are talking about Melody and Martell because that's what they chose to make their storyline. The fact of the matter is, we don't know if Marceau and Maurice have actually cheated on their wives. There's been scuttlebutt. You had the girl who came out the other day and said it. But like I said, when I saw what happened, girl, I saw the girl did an interview, and then it came and went, and nobody talked about it. And there are so many people in my comment section talking about, girl, that's a waste of time. Don't even watch it. So when I saw people in my comments saying, Rodney, don't even waste your time, when most of the time they would be like, girl, when you gonna talk about it? When you gonna talk about it? When you gonna talk about it? There were a few people, but for the most part, most people were like, girl, don't even waste your time. I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. If they telling me they don't even care, then I shouldn't even waste my time watching it. We don't know for a fact that Marceau and Maurice have cheated on Kimmy or Letitia. We know for a fact Martell cheated on Melody. So when we start to go down this road of, oh, all they did was talk about Melody and Martell, well, girl, that's what Melody and Martell decided to make their storyline. Kimmy and Maurice decided to make their storyline Kiowa and Monster and all the stuff that comes along with that. You see what I'm saying? Tisha and Marceau decided to make their storyline, including Miss Wanda, Marceau said, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's the road that they decided to go down. I think that if a woman had come forward, or if we knew 100% factual that girl, they had an Arion also, then I think that Carlos King would have made sure it became a part of the storyline. I think it's messed up that people want to get upset at Kimmy and Letitia and Marceau and Maurice over something that Melody and Martell decided to do. They decided to make that their storyline, their infidelity. You can't get mad at the other couples if they do have one. They decided not to talk about it. They decided to talk about other stuff to take away from that. Now they are on reality TV, so that is a reality. That is a reality. But the fact of the matter is, we're not going to sit here and act like they have not provided us with entertainment in other areas. As much as we've talked about Letitia and Miss Wanda and Marceau and Miss Wanda versus Melody and Miss Wanda, you see what I'm saying? As many conversations that we've had about whether if Kimmy was a side chick or not, Kiowa versus Kimmy. You see, like, it is what it is. But this whole thing of they've been riding the wave of Melody and Martell, they really haven't. They have also contributed to this show with their own personal storylines outside of Melody and Martell. And I think that if you say they did not, then I will question whether or not you're being honest. And I would also ask you, have you watched the seasons? Even if you take away the conversations revolving around Melody and Martell, we still had other things to talk about with Tisha and Ms. Wanda Marceau. We still had stuff to talk about with Kimmy, Maurice. You see what I'm saying? Kyle, whatever. We had Kimmy's breast cancer storyline. I'm just saying. I think reality TV. We should definitely know your reality. But I'm also, y'all know, I'm also very vocal about, girl, if you are not going to give us nothing, girl, you better give us something. If you're not going to give us nothing about your personal life, like for example, Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly doesn't talk about her marriage, but she's so goddamn messy on the show that, girl, we looked the other way for at least the first 3 or 4 seasons she was on. Then we started realizing what Dr. Heavenly was doing. These couples have given their personal lives. I believe they have. And again, as much as we want to holler and scream that all the men are cheating, we don't know that to be fact. There's no way that Martell and Melody could have done this show with Martell out here having a side chick and a baby and then not become a topic of conversation and then not be introduced to the show. Girl, you got a whole baby. Me thinking that all the niggas are cheating on their wives is not the same thing as me knowing all the niggas are cheating on their wives. Do I think they're all cheating? Yes. Do I know? No. Anyways, I just want to come back and say that I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.